Hey guys, how's it going everyone? It's Jackie Fields here, and today I just want to make a quick informative video about the three different gem setups you can run for large scale PvP in Black Desert Online. And so these three gem setups will be the endgame DR gem setup, the endgame evasion setup, and also the full human damage setup. Now personally, I've tried and ran each of these gem setups in the past before. So I have personal experience in terms of their advantages and disadvantages for each. So if you guys are interested in each individual gem setup, then please go to the indicated timestamp within the video section, and there you can see the various gem setups I have. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so for the first gem setup, I want to talk about the DR setup, which is what I'm currently running right now. Now for the DR setup, what I have in the helmet is hand hoom. So I have 2 hand hooms in my helmet, and I have 2 combined hoom crystals in my boots. Now the reason for this is because the 2 set bonus for the hoom crystals and the 4 set, they stack together, and they're really stat efficient items if you have 4 of them running on your setup. Now for the armors, I run the special attack evasion crystals. So I think these are the best to go with, and these will get a future upgrade as well, where you can put additional 100 HP on top of these gems with the new node war reward. So each of these gems give you 10% special attack evasion, so 20% chance essentially to evade against critical down attack modifiers, back attack, stuff like that. It's really noticeable when they work. Okay, now for your gloves, you run the RBF Vipers. Sorry, not RBF, the Gym Vipers. So each of these gives you 20 accuracy, which is pretty big, and 1 attack speed and 1 cast speed for each. Alright, now just on a quick note, I have Akum armors and Zaka, Danny, and Nuva. It's just an example, so it's just a template. There's nothing too special about that. Now for your offhand, I recommend you run the Corrupted Crystals, so 2 of these. Now you do lose 4 DR for running both of these, but the 20% extra crit damage, I think with the 2 of these you gain additional like 2% crit damage and 4 hit AP. These are the biggest damage boosts you can put in offhand right now. So I highly recommend you put Corrupted in your dagger or your offhand slot. Now for your your awakening, I'll recommend the Evasion Crystals, 2 of these. So these give you 10 human damage and 6 accuracy for both. And yeah, I think they're pretty nice for your awakening slot. I don't know what else you'll put in this other than your Evasion if you're running a DR setup. Okay, now for your main hand, this is pretty simple and straightforward. If you have the silver, buy your instead of running the precision crystals, you can run the upgraded version, which is the Alcars. So Alcars, run 2 Alcars, and each of these will give you 10% ignore resistance and 12 accuracy. So comparing a normal precision crystal to an Alcar is a 4 accuracy difference. So if you run 2 Alcars, that's an 8 accuracy difference over precision. So that's I think that's pretty big. Okay, so that's a DR setup pretty much done. Let's move on to the evasion setup. So for the evasion setup, instead of running the 2 hand hooms in your helmet, you will instead run the 2 Jin Half-Years. So why you do this is because each Jin Half-Year gives you 20 evasion on top of 50 HP and 5 HP recovery. So the 20 evasion is really important because every point of evasion matters when you're running an evasion build. Okay, for your boots, you can run the 2 hand hooms in your boots, and then put the other 2 hand hooms in your offhand, right? So that's your 4 hand home setup. For your armors, it's the same as the DR. You run the special attack evasion. So 2 of these. And then for your gloves, you'll still run the Gym Vipers. That doesn't really change. And your main hand is still the Alcars. And okay, so for your offhand, it's depending on what you want to do, right? If you want to be more tanky and have higher survivability, what I'll recommend you put in there is your Rebellious Spirit Crystals. So these give you 175 HP each, 5 hidden HP, AP, sorry, and the other 2 stats are more PvE, which is extra AP against monsters and 5% skill XP, so it doesn't really matter. But the 350 HP and 10 hidden AP for both sets is pretty huge. However, you'll be sacrificing a decent amount of damage if you're a very crit reliant class, which most classes are, right? So you can either choose between running the Rebellious Spirit Crystals to be extra tanky and gain that 350 HP, or you can choose to run the Corrupted Crystals for more damage. So that's entirely up to you and how you want to build that. Okay, cool. Now onto the last gem setup, which is the human damage. Now I've already done the human damage. The human damage is pretty straightforward. So instead of running the Gym Vipers, you will run the 2 Red Battlefield Vipers. So instead of getting the 20 accuracy, you would instead get 10 human damage. So you get 20 human damage instead of 40 accuracy, right? So that's the trade you'll be making. And then for your chest, you'll be running the RBF Kobe's, which give you 100 HP each, 20 LT, and 5 human damage. And then for your helmet, now for your helmet, you can change it around. Like you can choose to still run the 4-hand home setup, and if you choose to do that, I'll recommend you put 2 hand hooms in your helmet and 2 hand hooms in your Danny. But that kind of defeats the purpose of this build, because the purpose of this build is to do maximum damage, right? So if you're a ranged class or a class that can dish damage without taking that much damage in return because you're hitting from ranged, then you will run this kind of human damage build, and you will hit very hard with this build, but at the same time you'll also be really squishy, right? So that's kind of the trade-off. You're like a glass cannon essentially. So you have 2 RBF half years in your helmet, you have 2 RBF histories in your boots, same, you have 2 Alcar, sorry, in your main hand. And if you want to, you can also just run the RBF powers, right? So which gives you 3 human damage and 5 AP, but I'll probably just recommend you run the Alcars instead. You can also choose to run human damage in your main hand if you want to do that too. And 2 Olicas in your awakening, so I think these are pretty nice items for a human damage build. And then 2 corrupted crystals in offhand. So there you go, we've gone through all 3 different kind of gem setups for your large scale build. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below, or send a message in my Discord, and I'll reply to it as soon as I see the message. Okay, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and learned something useful. I will see you guys next time. Have a lovely day. Peace.